those of you I haven't met, my name is John Mattioli. I am the oldest of three, and so we're all on the same page. The three of us are going to say 3, 4, 5 minute, hopefully. We're going to keep it as close to that as we can. And then there is a reception after this at Centennial Golf Club. You're all welcome, and anybody you know is welcome, and bring everybody for the celebration. Anybody that knows me well and has been with me the last couple, 3, 4 days, they know I've struggled with what to say today. I've had the opportunity to speak in front of large groups quite regularly. I've never had the problem before, and I hope I can arise to the occasion, because if you can't talk about somebody who you feel like I felt about my father, and if I don't get anything else across, I am so proud to be the eldest son of that man right there and that woman right there. And they have affected me in so many different ways. His influence, and I can't go into my mother's influence on me because I can't stay my time with it. We'll have to save that for another occasion. But his influence on me has been by far the biggest, greatest influence in my life, on my life. And I can remember as a kid, I would follow him around like a dang shadow. And sometimes he'd try to, go to the bathroom and disappear to get rid of me, I think. But I would love for when he'd say, Johnny, come on, let's go for a ride. We're going to see a man about a dog. And he would take me to Scally's and see Donnie Bruin and see Mickey Lilly and Course Norms, and just live for those memories. And that feeling, although the circumstances changed, that feeling I kept for him my whole life. So at the end of the day, maybe more appropriately, at the end of a life, he, maybe, at least as far as I'm concerned, was a huge success. But we had some unorthodox things in the family. We would call him, his kids would call him Matt. See me at the reception, I'll tell you about that. Or we did very few family vacations. Because when we did one, okay, there's no stopping from point A to point B. If you had to pee, you're done. It was like the Baton Death March or Trail of Tears. So we didn't do many of those. What we got to was a great vacation, all that, but he was driven that way. We lived in Washington, in the Maryland area for a while, and we'd come up home to Brewster. It was a, 4 or 5 hour trip. You didn't drink water for 3 days before. God forbid you were hydrated. So the memories, by and large, are absolutely wonderful. He did have some warts. He absolutely did have some warts. And close family knows what I mean. And it kind of has prohibited me from maybe how I've always thought of him and where he came from a bunch of stories he would tell me about growing up. And he was a son of an immigrant father and a mother born of immigrants. And you're talking back, he was born in 34, so you're talking in a time when the foundation, the fiber of this country was being built by these people. They were hard. They were great, they were honest, they were hardworking, they were class people. But they were hard. They had to be. And my father was hard. And at times, he was real hard. And his sisters could run you through this much better than I could, and so could my wife, and so could my sister, and maybe a few others of you here. But keep in mind, he was the generation that bridged that time to this time. And look where we are in this time. Is it not an incredible amount of change? And he softened up. But I want to share a story with you, and I'm probably going to go over my time, aren't I? But I want to share a story with you that he told me when I was about Tim's age, my 12-year-old. And I'll never forget it. It was 45 years ago, and he, for his birthday, he had gotten a fishing pole from his dad, we called Pop. He cherished this fishing pole. This thing was everything to him. He wanted to go fishing shortly after he fished a lot with it, but he wanted to go fishing this one day. And Pop said, no, you can't, we got boppity bop, whatever it was. Matt goes fishing anyway. And it's right down here by Borden Bridge at the bottom of the Peaceful Hill. Pop drives by chance, and sees him. Goes up there, parks the car, goes down into the creek, and grabs that fishing pole and breaks it over his knee. The way my father told me that story 45 years ago, is what has made me remember it this long. Now, Pop wasn't a bad guy, right? He wasn't a mean guy. Didn't mean to emotionally scar my father. Those things happen. But that's the mentality he grew up under, and yet adjusted to raising us, maybe not the way as warm and fuzzy as we would have liked, but certainly a great father. And that's how I justify the warts and some of the things that he was known for. Somebody told me before, you're not going to get too many, you didn't get too many compliments from him. But that's okay. It was always okay with me. I'm going to, and by the way, how I really knew he felt the same about me, he'd never say I love you, never. He told me I was in his inner circle. First time I heard it, is that good? There's not many people I let in my inner circle. You're one of them. And he told me that more and more as he grew older. And
You never told me that.
Well, you tell the story about when he dropped out of college. And the emotional deficit that sometimes was felt was more than made up by Mama Bear. Spectacular combination. And we love you for that. Another person, I'm done. Another person in his inner circle for when he lived was his cousin, Pete Palveri. Pete Palveri was a year and 2 days older than Matt, and was as close a male companion as my father ever had, one of the tops. Pete died in late March of 1998, and my father gave the eulogy. And it was a soliloquy, man. I mean, we have it. It was a long one. But he closed with what I'm going to close with now, because my father thought it was appropriate for somebody he loved like no other. So if imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, I'm going to read it in his honor. It's called On Death, Sources Unknown. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am a diamond glint on the snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the spring rain. When you awake in the morning hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of birds circling in flight. I am the stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I do not sleep. Matt, I can't wait to see you again. Thank you.